Hello everyone, my name is Cute Little Angel, and today we are sharing another video with each other. For today's video subject, we have a character from that little game called Final Fantasy XIV. And with me today, we have her creator, or her dad, whatever you want to say. Let me introduce to you all my friend, Quite Cross.
Hello there. For the podcast, I think it's probably better if I just forego everything and just say I'm Tom. So it's a bit easier to say than Quite, like it's an actual name.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna start calling you Cross after that. I just wanted to give you your full name.
Fair enough. Tom or Cross, doesn't matter too much. But yeah, hi.
Well, welcome. I thank you so much for the commission. As you've probably heard me say a billion times, it was a lot of fun to do. And I'm really glad to be here.
Well, I saw some of your work that you posted up, and it was just like, you know what? Like, the character itself, she's quite rough and she's quite ready, and, you know, the stuff that I kind of towards going for, like, cooler looking things with big air quotes around cool. So having someone who does a more cutesy, more, you know, super deformed style, I'm like, nah, you know what, let's go for it. And, you know, I have used it back when I was streaming a fair bit more, so I have used it as placeholder art and stuff like that. It's really great.
Aw, thank you. I can definitely say it's one of my favorite chibis I've ever done. And if anybody's watching the video, you realized I don't have the sketching in the video. It's because I did that when I was super sick, and trying to discern what I was doing in, like, just in the recording was a mess. So I got to cut it out. Sorry, guys. But it was a lot of work trying to get all the detail in, but I was having so much fun, like, looking at your armor, which was, you colored it black.
It's very, very dark blue. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I was just like studying all your references for hours, and I like had all of them open in all of them open on tabs. It was a journey with this one.
Well, I honestly hoped that I'd actually given enough, because I know how hard it is for certain artists to not have what they, you know, kind of like not have what they've needed. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, I can I can say for sure that it was all like I needed, like the front, the side, etc. And it was just up to me to like figure out how to put that in chibi form, which is, like you said, super deformed, super whatever the F I want to do, basically.
Yeah.
And then you go ahead.
Well, it's the whole kind of thing. It's like I allow artists to have like a fair bit of free reign, but I also understand on the flip side, it's like it's really bad sometimes just to have no direction and just to be told, oh, just do whatever. So I tried to strike a nice balance with it, and yeah, the whole point of commissioning someone is so that they can adapt it to their own kind of styles, because you like their individual style, if you get me.
Nah, I get you, and I thank you for that. I think that's part of the reason why I had so much fun, was because I just could do what I pleased for most of it. And that's why I probably put so much detail, because I was like, I'm having too much fun. Let me just keep on, and then like the whole entire day went away, and like, oh, the sketch is done.
Well, I'm glad, because I kept on checking in on you just to see how you're doing, because you kept on mentioning how dead you were. It's like, oh no, rest, don't worry about it. I can wait. Just that's like, because
we were basically fighting.
You had like schoolwork to do. You had the commission, other commissions. You had, you know, work or whatever to do as well. So it's just like, slow down. It's okay.
And I was like, you're being so sweet, but I'm like, I don't have a slow down button. I only keep on going until I faint. And that's why the sketch is in here, because it was a complete mess. and I actually had to redo a bit of it because I remember I showed you the sketch the first time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to sleep. And then I woke up a little bit better, like, this is not as detailed as I wish it could be, and it's a little lopsided. Like, a lot of the stuff was disproportioned, and that's a big, like, issue with me. I hate it when I can see it, so that's why I spent so much time adding extra details onto the sketch before I did all the line art.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Especially as like over the Christmas periods, like I had quite bad flu myself, and I did the smart thing, and I went, right, I've got this whole bunch of days off where I'm not doing anything, so I'm just going to sleep it away. And it's like the doctor said about 10 days or something, and I ended up like being okay around about like day 8. So like having the opportunity to just rest and you will recover a lot quicker. But that's not exactly what we're here to talk about.
Well, since this is your player character, I wanted to ask a little bit more about her. Since
go for it.
You just showed me actually that you have like this really cutesy like outfit for her for just crafting. Do you always redress her up for certain tasks?
So I have a specific look for every role in the game. So at the moment, like this is probably where the footage is going to come through.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm in the exact same outfit. I think maybe the boots are different as the one that I gave to you.
Nice.
So currently looking around on that, I'll just get rid of. Yeah. So that's what I was looking like when I've now changed that. So I'm now currently running around as my tank. So I've got my warrior, my paladin, and my dark knight all following a similar theme.
Ooh.
Now it's kind of a more military theme.
Nice.
Using the outfit that I get from my grand company, which is one of the factions you can align yourself with in game. Then was it dragoon gear is only for dragoons, so I've got a specific look for that. And then once samurai came out, I started messing around with bits and pieces, and now I've got I pretty much look like Raiden from Metal Gear Rising at the moment.
Sick, dude.
I've even got a glowing sword. It's
sick.
It's so good.
Dude.
So yeah, got that. I've got the one for monk, which I need to redo the weapons for. Specific one for ninja. Specific one for machinist. Bard. Then I've got my casters. Or like a lot of these things seem to use the gear I get from my my military faction, which is the Maelstrom, and it's full of pirates. So it's like this lovely red and black like long coat for my casters. Unfortunately, I gave all of my healer gear to one of my little people I can send off and do things, so I don't have the healer stuff on me at the moment. But yeah, it's like, and then for like I've got my gatherers where I look like a biker chick when I go out mining, and then for my crafters it's this lovely new sweater that they've added in with this new patch. So I've got the version without the scarf, but I can get one with like a really kind of you know, like the suburban soccer mum look, and they sometimes have like a nice scarf to go with the jumper. It's got that, and it's like, oh, this is dumb. I love it. I'm having this.
And you seem like you have Final Fantasy 14 in your pocket. You got like almost everything, I feel, because I don't know anything about this game.
So the game itself, in other MMOs, like for example with World of Warcraft, you pick your class at the beginning of the game when you create your character, and then you are stuck to that class all the way through.
Yeah.
On 14, you make your character, you pick something that you start with, but you get the option after a certain level to try different things, to the point where you can level up everything to the current max level, which is 70. I currently have everything at 70. In an effort to kind of allow myself more time away from the game, and because I've got a big backlog of other stuff, and allow myself to do other things with the game, and this, that, and the other. So yeah, currently new patches just come out. I'm going to be raiding for that. I'm going to be doing high level crafting. I've just finished off sorting out a spreadsheet for the materials needed to make a submarine. So there is a metric ton of stuff that you can do in this game. And the only thing that I would say is, the only negatives is, yes, it's subscription based, so you have to pay money every month. And I would never recommend this to someone who has real obligations. Because
for a second there, that sounded like a Final Fantasy 14 advertisement until you said that.
It's an MMO. It is designed to be, well, I would say addictive, but it's designed to be there to have extended times of play. It's a never-ending game. There's always something that you could do, because it's how they keep their player base spending money month after month. It's how they keep their business model going. So, for example, you're in college at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, regrettably.
Because you have your college course, which is important to you, and you don't want to, mess it up. Don't play this game. Because it will leech time from you.
Oh yeah.
Let's say, for example, tomorrow I don't have anything to do before I go to work. I will get up around about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then around about 5 o'clock in the evening I will go, right, I'll log off, I'll get ready for work. And it feels like nothing sometimes. This is as much of a AA meeting for me than anything else. As I'm describing this game, the other parts of my brain kick in and goes that doesn't actually sound too great, does it?
But yet here you are, you're playing it as we speak.
Yeah, I am. I really, really enjoy it, but I understand that I don't want to put anyone else in a bad situation because of, I went, hey, try out said game. By the way, here's all of the problems that can arise from it. I'd much rather people go into something knowing what they're getting into. Yeah.
I've never actually was able to get into an MMO. I tried Blade and Soul. All I did was make a character, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I just can't seem to get an MMO to draw my attention really well.
Have you played any of the other Final Fantasy games, or are you just purely Kingdom Hearts, by the way?
I played 3 once upon a time on a DS, and I hated it. But I really like 10.
Okay. So the thing is with 14, it's a bit more action oriented. So instead of doing turn-based battle, you've got skills on cooldowns. But for the most part, I would say at some point pick it up, because the base game is always cheap, and you'll have so much fun with the customization, because creating the character is only one step. So you make your cute little Lalafell, which is the tiny race, which I know you would go for because that's right up your alley.
Darn it, you pegged me.
I don't see you as being a cat girl.
Are you sure?
Nah. You want something that's, tiny and cute and shaped like a friend.
Shaped like
Kirby.
a friend?
Yeah, like Kirby. Kirby is shaped like a friend.
Aw. You know what? That's absolutely right.
So you go you make your character, they're really nice and adorable, they've got their little outfit that they start the game on, you go, that looks really nice. And then you see someone else wander past with the same race with something that looks amazing, and you go, well, now I've got to get to that point so I can start wearing stuff like that. And by, before you know it, you're doing high level raids and doing world first clears. Let's exaggerate a bit. There's a couple of people from the Discord server that have started, and I've been helping them through, and everyone seems to be having a blast now that there's like a little community that they can just enter into and get help from.
Oh yeah, and Sarah was telling me about it, and she's really happy.
Like that's another thing, which is another thing that keeps me playing, is there is a kind of sense of community. This is my first and only MMO that I've actually ever really sunk time into. Like, I had a couple of mates try to get me into WoW back in like 2009, I think, and that didn't work out. I didn't like the art style, I didn't like the way it played. I was a console peasant at that point, so keyboard and mouse controls, keyboard and mouse controls I didn't agree with. So I kind of poo-pooed that away and went, I don't like it. And then I just finished my degree way back when, in 2013, which is 5 years ago now.
Don't feel old. Don't feel old. It's okay. Continue. Pretend time doesn't exist.
I'm 27 this year. Of course I feel old.
No.
Anyway, so I just finished my degree. I had about a month or so left at the university house that I was in. And I'm just messing around one day, and I see a couple of Reddit threads. One of them says, applications for the closed beta of Elder Scrolls Online have just opened. Ooh, okay. Closed beta applications for Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn have just opened. Ooh.
Fancy name.
3 games. Fuck it. I'll play for a while, 3 games. So I did the whole forms for both of them, saying like, I will be beneficial to this because I've never played a fucking MMO before, but I have played the previous games in the series and I'm a big fan of the franchise, blah 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 blah. Elder Scrolls did not get back to me. And then I saw how that turned out, and I was like, did I dodge a bullet? Yeah, I fucking dodged a bullet. But FF14 did. And they went, yeah, sure, you can play it on your PC, or you can play it on your PS3. And I went, I can play this on a console. Okay. So I loaded it up onto the PS3, and I sat there and I played through the first day. They wiped my character, started again, open beta started, I made the person you're currently looking at, and I've been playing ever since. Like, I got sucked into it because like the story building and the world building, like, it starts you off really kind of low to the ground, and you build yourself up, like reputation wise as well as like character level wise and stuff like that. And there's just so much little details and like so much care and attention that have gone into a lot of things, which really sucked me in. And like, I'm probably gonna be playing this until it dies, like, pretty much. Like, I'm gone.
Well, knowing Square Enix, it'll probably be alive longer than you now. But
well,
you know,
Final Fantasy XI came out, I think, 2000 or 2001, and they've only just, I think it was last year, where they shut down, well, they haven't shut down the servers, but they said there will be no more updates. They've stopped supporting Final Fantasy XI.
I didn't even know it was still getting updates. Wow.
Yeah, so it's now finished, technically. And, you know, the servers themselves will probably have another couple of years before they get shut down finally. But that's almost 20 years.
And then the next RPG will be Final Fantasy 20.
No, it won't. But by the time that happens, we'll be maybe on 17, if 16 is going to be another MMO or something. But I don't see that happening due to the fact that 14's success has been as good as it has been.
Yeah.
There's a whole documentary on it by a bunch of guys called NoClip, headed by some ex games journalist. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they did documentaries on the new Doom game and how id Software built itself back up and everything. They did a massive documentary on this and how 1.0, because it was originally released in 2010, and the game was a mess, and it almost, due to that and other things from Square Enix that were happening around about that time, they almost went bankrupt. So that's it. It's a very interesting part of gaming history, and it's the first MMO that's ever been killed off and then brought back from the dead stronger than ever.
I have to check out that documentary now because that sounds really interesting to actually understand. Besides knowing that it was basically what you just said, brought back to life after it blew up the world and restarted the universe.
Well, that's the way they presented it in the game, but what was happening outside of the game was everything's falling to pieces. They brought in a new guy to take over the project, and he did the best he could with 1.0, and then I think he went to the CEO or something and went, right, I want to close down the game, give me 2 years and I'll get you a new working game out, ready and done, with a new way of doing stuff. We'll get more players and hopefully start working on the losses that we've made from this version. And he fucking did it. The madman did it. So there's a lot of interesting stuff surrounding this, especially as me and a couple other people have said this is Square Enix's return to form with the Final Fantasy series. This game feels like a Final Fantasy game. It plays a bit like WoW. It uses a lot of inspirations from other MMOs, but at the end of the day, it still feels like a Final Fantasy game.
Actually, I love game stories like that where people come in and they basically save the company or save a game. That always really inspires me because it's such an important industry to me that I like to hear about the good, because there's a lot of bad, especially nowadays. But you know what I realized, Tom?
Yeah.
We never actually said your character's name.
Alright, this is Marie. Marie Vilford, and the name has a little bit as well, because the name is so I love the Final Fantasy series, but as a part of that, I really love the Final Fantasy Tactics series, and I'd recently completed a playthrough of the original game, and when I'm terrible at naming characters, absolutely terrible, so I cast my mind to the first thing I thought of, and in Tactics they give your units random names. So for example, one could be called Thomas, the other one could be called Caitlin or whatever, and they've got a pool of names that he just chooses from. And when I cast my mind to it, it's I'd had 2 characters that started with me at the beginning of the game and ended up being some of my strongest units. One of them was called Marie, the other one was called Vilford, and I went, oh, a name.
Well,
so
Yeah.
So there's the story behind that. Unfortunately, as I got more into the game and I started reading up about it and everything like that, I realised that the race that I'd chosen, which is the Hellsguard Rogadin, have a very specific naming convention for in-law names, and that is mainly it's something like descript adjective noun kind of way of putting it. So you'll have there's an NPC called Yellow Moon, and like the males are called like Wide Gully and Curious Gorge and stuff like that. And I'm just there like, oh, but I'm attached to this name now. Oh well, fuck it.
I always liked the name though. But Tom, you basically stole the show.
Sorry, I do like to chat.
No, I completely fine with it because you are my guest after all. And I brought you on so you could share with us. But unfortunately, we ran.
But anyway, I am kind of sorry that I did, because you probably had more questions. Hopefully, I did answer some of them, but yeah.
No, you pretty much answered all of them because I had a question about do you have different characters in this game because I don't know anything about it, and you're like, nope, she's all the roles because she's so cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of quests where they just kind of go, it's like, oh my god, you're so cool. Like, especially the crafting quests, there's a lot of them where it's just like, wow, you're picking this up really easily, like, you're the best person I've seen in a while.
So, for now, I have to say thank you so much for coming on, and I would like to take the moment to thank my lovely Patreons for supporting me and pledging to me every month to get me to where I am today. This is really important to me, and I want to make it my future career, so you guys doing that for me means a lot.
It's okay. We can edit that out, it's fine. You can fix it in post.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much, Cross, for joining us today. If you want to check out him, he might start streaming some days, sometimes.
Real life has gone at the moment, so I'm going to hold off on saying that I've got anything in the pipeline, because, I've got to sort a lot of things out, and then I can come back and do all this other stuff.
Well, if any of you want to follow him, I'll link his Twitter into the description. And for now, I'd like to say thank you all for watching. Thank you again, Cross, for joining us. And I will see you all next time on the next video. I love you all and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.